class 4. Then the functions of different types of teeth. You learned about the functions of incisors, the functions of canines, the functions of premolars, and the functions of molars. Incisors, biting, stroke cutting, stroke nipping. For the canines, tearing, flesh, and sugarcane. For the premolars and the molars, their work is chewing, stroke grinding, stroke crushing. Those are the functions of the teeth. Do not include any other function. Those are the only functions. Then, I am sure the teacher also drew a line somewhere, although that comes in the next. And he said that this is the first set of teeth. And when you complete that, it is the second set of teeth. We shall come to that. In the shedding of teeth, we have the deciduous teeth. The deciduous teeth, also known as the milk or the temporary teeth. And you have got the permanent teeth. The deciduous teeth have no molars. They are 20 in number. I want to move on to class 5. And in class 5, the human body consisted of two systems now. Remember, I said we have now started looking at the internal parts. We have two systems now. We have the breathing system and the digestive system. Now, of great importance, one is that you should be able to identify the main parts of a breathing system, state the functions of a parts of a breathing system, identify the main parts of a digestive system, state the functions of the various parts of a digestive system. Now, let me mention something here, that in the KCPE, you can never be asked to draw the digestive or the breathing system. But with you, it is important that you know how to draw it because you have to label on the diagram. It is important that you are able to draw and label, because the question in the KCPE that they ask, what is the function of the part labeled Q? If you cannot be able to label that part Q, you will definitely not know its functions. So I hope you can be able to draw and label. And I want to be very, very fast. I will do it very, very fast here. So let's go. I am going to draw the two systems very fast here, and we shall label them. Here we go. I start with the breathing system. The breathing system. I may not be a very good artist, but I try sometimes to do it. There we are. There we have it. There we have it. And let's label the parts. The first one we shall label here is the nose. From the nose, we have a pipe that we call the trachea. From the trachea, we have the bronchus. We have the lungs. And we have what we call the diaphragm. The diaphragm. I also want to include something else. Those are the external parts. Inside the lungs, we have got other small tubes. These small tubes are known as the bronchioles. They are the bronchioles. And the bronchioles aimed at small birds. These small birds, we shall call them the air sacs. The air sacs. The functions, the nose and the trachea. The nose and the trachea almost perform the same functions. The nose cleans, warms, and moistens the air. It has got small hairs and mucus. This one helps to clean the air. The same to the trachea, it helps to clean the air. It also has got small hairs and some mucus. Note that the trachea is made of a material known as cartilage, which keeps it open. Your trachea must be open at all times. This one enables the lungs to always get the air. And maybe let me tell you something that is slightly ahead of you. The reason as to why it must remain open is because you do not control your breathing. It controls itself by the work of a diaphragm. The diaphragm moves up and down, up and down. When it moves up, you breathe out. When it moves down, you breathe in. That's why even when you're asleep, you continue breathing. Then you have the trachea branches into bronchus, which get into the lungs. In the lungs, the bronchus branches into bronchioles, and then the air sacs, where exchange of gases takes place. The two respiratory gases are oxygen and carbon dioxide. We breathe in oxygen and out carbon dioxide. Judy, what is the work of a diaphragm? Yes, Judy? What's the work of a diaphragm? Judy, I can't see you. Start your video. Judy, start your video. We can't see you. We can't hear from you. We need you to tell us the work of a diaphragm. Oh my, Judy, you can't hear me clearly. Can you start your video? Good. Can you now hear me? Do you hear me now? Okay, let's move on, Judy. I think it's a technical problem. It's not a problem on our side or your side. Let it just, let's move on so that, yeah, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Good. So what's the work of a diaphragm? What's the work of a diaphragm?
It moves up and down to allow the air to be exchanged.
Very good, Judy. It moves down to separate the abdomen and the chest to allow room for the air. That's very nice. And that's the breathing system. The diaphragm moves up and down. The ribs move upwards and inwards, upwards and out, downwards, inwards and outwards. All this is to create room for the air. I hope you know the process of breathing. You do?
Yes.
Good. So the next part is the digestive system. Do you know how to label the digestive system? Can you label the digestive system?
Yes.
That's very nice. So just like the breathing system, you're supposed to be able to label all the parts and then state the function of each and every part. Okay? In class 6, Judy, in class 6, I am moving a bit fast. In class 6, here's what you learned. Yes, in class 6, there's what you learned. Still in the human body, you learned the reproductive system. Judy, you're in class 8 now. So I know now you can start striking a chord with some of these, what you're learning now. So the reproductive system and the physical changes during adolescence. And I always say that when it comes to class 8, some of these questions you're not supposed to fail, because remember, as I've said, that what we learn is not only supposed to make us pass our exams, it is also supposed to guide us in life. Please, as you learn, make sure that what you learn gets into you and helps you, because I am sure that you learned about something in the changes during adolescence, and the teacher mentioned something else apart from physical. The teacher mentioned emotional changes. And once you learn what you're learning here about adolescence, you'll be able also to handle your classmates. When you realize that some of the emotional changes are working on them, you can be able to assist them. And when it comes to these changes, I say that they are normal. They should never make one worried. They are always part of our lives. So what should we learn in this? You're supposed to identify some parts of the reproductive system. So you draw the male and the female and you label them. So once you label them, you're supposed to state the functions of a parts of a reproductive system and then describe the physical changes during adolescence. So what are the parts that you're supposed to learn? The parts that you're supposed to learn, they include, in the female, we're supposed to learn the ovary, the oviduct, the uterus, and the vagina. In the male, you're supposed to learn about the testes, the urethra, and the penis. Some of these other things that you learn from the books, they may not even be part of our syllabus. Do not go so deep. The KCPE will not go that deep. The KCPE goes as per the syllabus. Remember, learning is spiral. So what you not learn in primary school, you may have an idea of it because it will assist you learn in the next class, which is Form 1, Form 2, Form 3, and Form 4. So do not learn everything in class 8 because these things will come during their own time. Functions of some parts of a reproductive system, then changes during adolescence. We need to know the physical changes, that is the male and the female, the changes in boys and girls. Judy, tell me some of the physical changes in adolescence in boys. Yes, Judy? Physical changes in boys. I can't hear you clearly. Okay, they include breaking of the voice, growth of beards, broadening of the chest, and there's something else that I hear people say that the growth of the Sodom apple. Is it Sodom apple or the Adam's apple?
Adam.
Okay, that one now I can see you are alert. Now in girls, we have the breasts enlarge, the hips widen, then the menstrual cycle starts. Then you have those that occur in both the boys and the girls. Increase in size, that is height and weight. Development of the sexual organs towards maturity. Pimples may appear. in both boys and girls. So those are physical changes. Note that the syllabus does not talk about emotional changes, but sometimes we do mention them so that at times we can be able to handle our classmates. Because you must know that the emotional changes, they are brought about by the physical changes. Some of the pupils become moody, they become aggressive, they want to behave like adults, they want to be recognized. So they want to assume those roles are assumed by adults. And it is important to know them so that even you can be able to tell the classmates who want to behave like adults that use of drugs is dangerous. Because some of them would like to behave like adults and therefore they end up using drugs, which is very, very dangerous. Judy, is there anyone in your class who uses drugs? Yes?
No.
None that you know of, isn't it? Yes, that means that they have been able to exercise